Have you ever wondered if evolution could make mistakes? Before we dive into today's jaw-dropping list, make sure you subscribe to Strange and Curious Planet, where we explore the unbelievable, the unexplained, and the downright impossible stories nature hides from us. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection has guided biology for more than 160 years. It explains how species adapt and survive, how the strong thrive, and how life slowly changes over millions of years. But every once in a while, nature throws a curveball. Creatures that seem to break the rules entirely. These are the animals that make scientists scratch their heads and ask, how did evolution allow this to happen? Let's look at 6 animals that seem to challenge Darwin's theory, or at least prove that evolution can be a whole lot stranger than we think. When British explorers first brought a platypus specimen to Europe in 1799, scientists thought it was a hoax, a stitched-together mix of a duck, beaver and otter. But, this bizarre creature turned out to be very real. The platypus lays eggs like a reptile, has a duckbill and webbed feet, produces milk without nipples, and even delivers venom through spurs on its hind legs. It's as if evolution took parts from different blueprints and combined them into one animal. What really confuses scientists is how the platypus's genome blends traits from mammals, reptiles and birds. It's an evolutionary time capsule that refuses to fit neatly into any category. Darwin's theory of gradual logical evolution doesn't easily explain how one species could keep such a mix of ancient and modern traits. It's a living fossil that defies classification. Darwin's theory suggests that species evolve to maximize survival and reproduction, and aging is a natural cost of that process. But the naked mole rat seems to have opted out entirely. Native to East Africa, this hairless, wrinkled rodent lives in underground colonies and shows 0 signs of aging. It's practically immune to cancer, resistant to pain, and can live up to 40 years, 10 times longer than similar-sized mammals. Even more bizarre, naked mole rats don't follow the usual mammalian rule of natural selection. Their colonies operate more like insect hives, with a single breeding queen and sterile worker rats, a social structure called eusociality that's nearly unheard of in mammals. It's as if evolution gave them a completely different rulebook. Most amphibians undergo metamorphosis, transforming from water-bound larvae into land-dwelling adults. But the axolotl, a Mexican salamander, decided to stop halfway. It never grows out of its larval stage. It keeps its gills, tail, and aquatic lifestyle for life. This condition, called neoteny, seems to reverse evolution's direction. Instead of becoming more complex or mature, the axolotl stays forever young. What's even more incredible is its ability to regenerate entire limbs, spinal cords, and even parts of its brain, something most animals lost millions of years ago. Darwin's theory can explain adaptation, but the axolotl's combination of eternal youth and perfect regeneration feels like evolution took a U-turn. Darwin himself was puzzled by the peacock. He once wrote, "The sight of a peacock's tail makes me sick." Why? Because its enormous colourful feathers seem to go against the idea of survival. The tail makes peacocks slower, easier to spot by predators and less agile, yet females love it. Darwin eventually explained it through sexual selection, the idea that beauty and attraction can outweigh survival advantages. Still, the peacock remains a stunning example of how evolution can prioritize showiness over practicality. In a world built on survival of the fittest, the peacock proves that sometimes survival of the most attractive wins instead. According to evolution, every organism's life cycle ends in death, making room for the next generation. But the Turritopsis dohrnii, or immortal jellyfish, skips that rule entirely. When injured or old, it doesn't die. It reverses its life cycle, turning back into a juvenile polyp and starting again. This biological reset button breaks one of nature's most fundamental laws. If natural selection rewards survival, then this jellyfish is the ultimate winner. It's potentially eternal. Scientists still don't fully understand how it manages cellular rejuvenation, but one thing is clear. It's a direct challenge to evolution's assumption that aging and death are inevitable. The kakapo, a rare parrot from New Zealand, is one of the strangest birds on Earth. It can't fly, smells like moss, freezes when frightened, and only breeds when a certain fruit ripens, sometimes once every few years. Evolutionarily speaking, it seems like a disaster, and yet it survived for thousands of years on isolated islands without major predators. Darwin's theory suggests that natural selection removes traits that reduce survival. But in the kakapo's predator-free homeland, those rules simply didn't apply. Evolution made it soft, friendly and slow, perfectly adapted to a world without danger. When humans introduced cats and rats, the kakapo nearly vanished, proving that sometimes evolution's success stories depend entirely on context. Do these animals really break Darwin's theory? Not exactly, but they show that evolution is far more flexible and surprising than we imagine. Rather than a straight line of progress, life evolves like a wild experiment, full of detours, reversals, and weird exceptions. From jellyfish that reset their age to rodents that live like insects, these creatures remind us that evolution isn't about perfection. It's about possibility. And sometimes the strangest designs are the ones that survive longest. So, if you love exploring the mysteries that science still can't explain, subscribe to Strange and Curious Planet, because the next creature we uncover might just break the rules all over again.